All right. Welcome to Still Talking Uncut. I'm your host, Big Easy, joined by not Sean Rigsby. Imagine that 2 times in a row. Anyways, Uncle Joey and LeMaster sitting in tonight. We appreciate y'all joining us again. Mainstays, y'all live here now. Um, special guest man, my man Tracy from Smoky Mountain Squat Shine. If you haven't had it, an opportunity to try it, it's at the Drop Zone Distilling, Knoxville, and then down in Pigeon Forge now.
Yep.
We had Brad on a couple weeks ago, and same place. So you walk in. If you go to the Pigeon, I haven't been to Knoxville yet, but you go to the Pigeon Forge one. As soon as you walk in, boom, it's the first thing you see. You can't miss it.
Hey, just so you guys know, before we get started, I've got Sarge on. We'll actually have the dude that owns Drop Zone will be on in January. So
yeah, we're building up to that. Yeah. We're getting there, Uncle Joey. We're getting there.
Slow down.
Have you not read the notes yet?
We don't really do notes. We just kind of wing it around here,
You think
anyways,
we're organized?
So, Mr. What are you drinking on down there, Uncle Joey? Got me all messed up.
Was it Phil Smith that is now the barrel owner from AM Scott? Has a little thing going, and he hooked me up with this little Russell's Reserve private barrel. It's delicious.
Hey,
if you're a fan of Russell's Reserve. Yeah, Phil's an awesome dude. I can't wait till they get the AM Scott opened up. We'll have to go down there and do an opening with them.
Ain't it open? I mean, they're right there. They're not open yet.
Not yet.
Okay, I go to Ace right there. I go to the hardware store, and I see it, and I can't stop in there when I'm running the hardware store, or I'm not going back to work.
Right.
I'll have to go home, and so it's there. I just didn't know if I figured it was open by now.
I haven't heard that it is. It should be soon though.
Nice. I have to. I know we had old Tony on and the lady. I have to get Phil on so he can talk about it because I know he took over a lot of the operations and he's doing a lot of the blending and all that now. So there's another one. All right. Well, you just we ain't monetizing this one.
No, dang. That son of a bitch still won't cut off. It's turned off and it won't even cut off. Golly, that was good.
Nah, we don't make no money.
Take two. Take two.
Ain't no take twos. No.
Nah, we good.
Ain't no money here. Oh shit. Anyways, we got Tracy with us. Tracy, I believe you're tell us how you got started from where you began to where you now have a legal label on the shelf at Drop Zone Distilling in Pigeon Forge and in Knoxville.
Well, it started a while back. My grandma passed away, and I got her table Bible. And if y'all know anything about the old big table Bibles used to sit around, and I got that, and it was actually my great-great-grandfather's table Bible, or great-great-grandmother's table Bible. And tucked away in the back was a moonshine recipe. And my grandpa was a moonshiner in the hills of the eastern Kentucky. And I knew that he'd been that. But I'd never even thought about doing moonshine until I got my great-great-grandfather's recipe out of the Bible. And I said one day, whenever I had the money, I would do it. So I talked to a bunch of people to see what I needed to do, and talked to some people down in Pigeon Forge, and almost lost everything I had with one place. They tried to take my brand and everything. And so I came up with the label and everything before anything. It was my love of the Smoky Mountains and my infatuation with Bigfoot. So I'm a Bigfoot believer, and I love the Smoky Mountains. So that's how I came up with Smoky Mountain Squat Shine.
Hell yeah.
And I said, Bigfoot will sell. Forbes magazine says Bigfoot is $1 billion industry and growing every year.
Yeah, he is.
And I said, well, if I could just get a piece of the pie, I'd be happy.
Absolutely.
And so with the premise of my great-great-grandfather's corn recipe, I went and talked to some people, and they weren't the right people to talk to because they tried to take my brand and all. They thought I was dumb. And so I got away from them, and I found Rod Pardon, Sarge, and talked to him, and he seemed like a real stand-up guy. You know, he was an ex-Tennessee State Trooper and a paratrooper and all, and has the Pardon last name. And he said, yeah, I'd like to help you. So I went, I talked to him, told him what I wanted to do, and told him about finding my great-great-grandfather's recipe and everything. And he said, we can do that. And so we came up with Squach Shine. I tasted it. It tasted phenomenal, and we ran with it. Well, I don't know how all the business works in the moonshine industry. And so I was going out to all these festivals, everything, trying to get the word out. And I hadn't even got legal on the shelf yet. But I sure did let a lot of people taste it before it got on the shelf.
Anticipation.
Well, and that's the way I wanted it.
But let's be honest, man. That's how you get, when them bottles and jars finally hit the shelves, everybody's been tasting it, and now they're like, hey, how do I get that?
Yeah, now they're lined up.
That's a hell of a, a good advertisement plan for you right off the rip. Hell yeah.
Yep. And a lot of people don't do it that way. I kind of like put the cart before the horse, so to say, but it was a good thing.
Yeah.
And so I even put it in a competition. I won a bronze medal with it. And I was like, yeah, we're on the right track. And then came all the paperwork. And I'm like, oh, shit, man. And
so you won the bronze medal before you were even legal, like to put on?
No. No.
No. I mean, it was before.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, not really. I mean, I had to be legal to get the bronze medal the first time. Yeah. But no. So all the paperwork was just a headache. And when I lay my head in Cincinnati and try to make moonshine in Knoxville, it's even a bigger headache.
So you Ohio entered the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all you had to say. You're trying to make legal liquor. Ohio entered the chat. Enough said.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it was, and it was hard, and it took 3 years. I'm 3 years where I'm at today, getting it, and I'm all over Knoxville, Chattanooga, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg.
So your jars are being distributed
statewide, and I just got into in Nashville, Tennessee. Y'all come on down to the Bigfoot Liquors, just south of Nashville, self-branded liquor store, Bigfoot Liquors. It's on the shelf, and it just went on the shelves just last Friday. So I got into Nashville. So it's creeping the whole state of Tennessee, creeping around.
Hey,
so
fill the shelves you can. And are you responsible for distributing your jars to those?
Yes. So it's called contract distilling. That's what I did with Rod, and my paperwork is exactly the same thing Rod has, except I don't own the distillery.
Mm-hmm.
I can go anywhere in the state and set up a little stand and let people taste it, as long as, like a liquor store, bar, and everything. I'm legal as legal can be. And
nice.
I have to have all the licensing Rod has, I have to pay all the taxes, that's the thing. Woo, taxes. And so
they hit you hard. Is it per jar, per proof gallon? How do they get you on them? If you don't mind.
It was per box. Six
Okay.
pack box. You have to pay a tax on every 6-pack box that you sell the distributor. So every time they take box from you, every month you have to pay taxes. You don't wait every 6 months, every nothing. You have to pay the state of Tennessee every month for what you have out with the distributor.
Okay, so you have to pay the taxes on what
they buy.
On what's already been given to liquor stores?
Yes.
No, and then I imagine they get tax off the liquor store when they sell it
out
of their pocket.
It just tax. Everybody.
Yeah, right. Merry Christmas.
The liquor
Daryl.
store gets taxed, and then the person who buys it gets taxed. So.
Yeah, with money that they got taxed on when they earned it. And
exactly.
Oh my gosh, man, it's a never ending. Like how many times can one penny, man?
Oh yeah. So. Well, yeah, like Brandon Buffington said, you have to pay to play. So
well, yeah, I mean it's you can't just put a jar out for free. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like you got to come off with something. You know what I'm saying? Like
Rod has to make money. So
yeah,
and we come to a great conclusion. I mean, we work well together, or we wouldn't work. We wouldn't be
right.
2 years. 2 years in this.
Right.
He treats me well, and so Brad Sanders is a good stand-up guy. He wouldn't be over there. He wouldn't be over there if he did. And Rod, he's got a great name. He don't. He's got. He's moving. He's got the second store now, or the retail store in Pigeon Forge, and
that's the one.
There's people in there.
Cool
there is people in there all day long.
Well, so. and listening to Brad talk, it really does seem like Rod's a good dude. Like he's really there to want to help. And listening to you and Brad talk, you guys are trying to kind of self-promote everybody to kind of, if you want to do the same thing, man, you guys can do it too.
Well, it's about making money,
Brad's a good fella to help everybody out.
Yep. And he's there to help you. When I went with Rod, he was just into his distillery a year. And there was a lot of stuff he was learning too. So there's a lot of stuff we've learned together, and what not to do, what to do, how to go down this road that we went on contract distilling, because I was the first person to contract distill with Rod. So it was a whole new ball game for both of us. And, the TTB goes in and says, where's Tracy's paperwork? Right in Rod's. I mean, I can be audited just like he is. All the paperwork has to be right there with Rod right there. He's got a file folder right there. And TTB, they did come in and ask where all my paperwork was right when I got it on the shelf. They did come in, so I'm bound by all that stuff too.
So I got a question. So I know you say you play your head in Ohio. So I'm sure you tried at some point to try to get a label in Ohio. I'm sure that was a battle that you found real quick.
Yeah, there's approximately 247 stores in Ohio, and the way they do it is there's an inch thick worth of paper, and I printed it out and burned up 2 printers printing out all the paper, and there's an inch thick of paper you had to fill out. And Ohio doesn't have it like Tennessee. You can get on the computer and do it all off the computer. Well, Tennessee or Ohio, you have to do it all on paper. And there's 2 inches thick of paper to do the 1 inch thick of paper, the 1 inch application. And I burned up 2 printers printing all that stuff out. I went through a whole ream of paper. And once I started in on the paperwork, they only take 6, maybe 6, possibly 10 bottles, period. And they'll throw them somewhere within the 247 stores. And if they don't sell within a timely manner, I'm not allowed in the state. And they don't tell me where those 10 bottles are, because they know I'd go buy them or tell somebody to go buy them,
Right.
And,
to at least get them bought off the shelves. Yeah, absolutely.
So if they go to a store somewhere in BFE and the guy says Squach shine, what the hell is this? And just sits it in the back room or sits it somewhere and it don't, they don't sell it. It don't sell. And that's cost me lawyers and everything somewhere around $5,000 to attempt to do it. And if they don't put me in the state, I've lost the money with the lawyers and everything. And so it's just not a gamble I want to gamble with. I'll tell you what they did, and this is how strict they are. They didn't let JB Raider in the state with his 103 or whatever he came out with, his 103 Apple Crisp or something. They didn't let it in the state of Ohio. So, somebody like him being on the show and everything with the notoriety that he has, they didn't let him in the state. They're not going to let my goofy ass in the state.
It just blows me away that they fight so hard to keep people from doing something that puts money back in their pocket.
Yeah, I've never seen a state fight so hard to not make money.
I don't understand.
Well, it makes you want to be illegal. I mean, I can understand why people are illegal, because with all the paperwork, and even in Tennessee, you've got the state and the government, and they're fighting against one another. They don't work together. It's like taking a tennis ball and hitting it over the Empire State Building and hoping that the guys over in the government part of Tennessee find your tennis ball. And then they throw it back over to the 10 tap. And I mean, it was ridiculous, because it's like, there's got to be an easier route for somebody to pay you money. I want to pay you money. I want you to make money, but they don't.
Somebody like yourself who already self-promoted your jar to where, as soon as it hit, you were going to sell. So, you've got a product that's going to make them money just laying in the cut waiting. But they won't do nothing with it, man. Ohio, do better, man. That's something that I've said probably on 10 podcasts, maybe more.
We shit on them all the time over it. Like, it's great. Hey, it's no different than they just magically passed a bunch of stuff that totally underwrit the legalization laws that the people passed here.
Yeah,
like it's insanity. Yeah, it's insanity what they do. Like, oh no, we don't want to make $40 billion this year.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And with these distilleries, man, it blows me away the fight that these guys have to go through. Our buddy John Vance,
he had to get state rep involved.
Yeah,
he had to get a state rep involved just to finally get some stuff rolling. Like, it's insanity. It shouldn't be that way.
Well, I was on another podcast.
We could shit on Ohio all night long.
Yeah, I was on
it's every state. I mean, it's just about every state. I mean, there's something goes wrong. I mean, they talk about poor states and poor counties and all this, but they don't ever want to let people come in and make money to where they can get taxed on it or anything. That just makes me I don't understand. And don't even get me started with distributors and moonshine in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and all that. That's even harder, because you got two of the biggest contributors to the moonshine market right there in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
Mm-hmm.
And Sugarland and Old Smoky. I mean, they're. I mean, when you go in the liquor store, there's a wall of all their product. And it's kind of impressive.
It's all smoky here too. It's all smoky here.
Yeah.
You got some small. It's all smoky. You can't get sugar. There's no Sugarlands here yet.
Hey, Chris Lewis had to fight like hell to get his jar on a handful of shelves, and it's just crazy, man.
Well, I finally found somebody that wanted to work with me. My distributor, Best Brands, they really work with me, and they actually got me some great shelf space, because I thought I was going to be on the bottom shelf somewhere. And just about all of my. I'm sorry.
Next to Tim Smith.
Yeah. Ooh. I heard about all that too. I had to hear about that, because I was told the other day I was going on the same path as Tim Smith. So yeah, that kind of rubs the raws. But
everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah. Well, that was a liquor store that I was trying to get in Pigeon Forge, and the guy he's just an ass. So,
So
but it's
how'd you-
hard.
how'd you first get started? Like, was you just like a basic home distiller? Did you have some? I know you said you found an old recipe. Was you like?
And I fiddled around
like-
with it at home and a while back. And, like I said, my grandpa was in it. So I was around his still as a young kid. And I tinkered with the recipe and stuff. And I just didn't have the knowledge that I needed. And so that's when I said, well, I'll just have to get with somebody that has the knowledge to do this. Because, heck, I live in a subdivision and all that. And it's just hard to do anything around here. So I hate to say paid to play, but
Well, I mean, you got in with somebody who you knew you could trust and learn a lot from.
right. Yes.
And from the beginning of that, you've learned a lot from him.
Oh, well,
and also, you've taken the opportunity to self promote yourself on social medias, on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew who you were way before I knew who Rod was.
yeah.
I had no idea who Rod was,
Right.
but I knew who you was. I've known who you are for a while,
Yeah.
just because of what you do social media wise. You know what I'm saying? So you've interjected yourself into this community with
Right.
What you do, your hard work, you're pushing like shit. I bet you drive about 170 million miles a year.
Well, this year I'm going. My truck right now. My truck is sitting on 24,000 miles this year. Just going to Knoxville and going to the festivals and stuff. And I interjected myself, but I kind of seem like I'm just like my family. I'm easygoing. People like me. I can talk to people, and people go, "Hey, that guy's a pretty stand-up guy." And people remember who I am. I'm fat and bald, so they can't.
Same.
And
Beautiful.
and I just, for some reason, people kind of gravitate toward me, and I talk to people and everything. And that's even on the moonshine. The people from the show. I mean, I've met everybody because I go to all the festivals, and
I see you there.
they like me. But for some reason, I was called the wannabe. I've been tagged sometimes as the wannabe.
Hey, welcome to the club, man. We're all wannabes.
So,
we're not from North Carolina, Tennessee. We don't have overalls on.
I
We
don't
wear
either.
a crowd.
Most of us are just guys with video
Listen,
cameras in
You
Yankeeville.
did what you had to do to
Yep.
put your label on the shelf.
Mhm.
Yep.
And dude, who can listen? If you're
Yep.
happy and everyone's happy with your product, brother, rock
Mhm.
on with it, and
Well,
let
that's what
them
I'm
hate.
gonna do.
It shows you that you're doing something, but you got to have the haters, man.
Well, you do.
And you should be proud that you have those. And I know
Well,
it's
that's
rough
true.
sometimes. You're
Well-
one of those guys. I feel like you want everybody to be happy. You want everybody to like it. But
Well, I'm a
if-
pleaser. But
if
I'm
they
not a
don't, man,
fanboy. There's a difference. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not out here fanning. I'm not running up to every moonshiner. Oh, I want to do. I don't do that. I had the moonshiners come by my booth and hang out or something. Howard hung out one day for 2 hours, and at Maggie Valley, he came over and hung out with me.
right.
But that's because they wanted to. They like talking to me and stuff, and I'm not out there fanboying or nothing. So,
Well, you've definitely put in the work, Tracy. I know I've seen your name around. I was with another podcast, and Doug and Cheryl down at Northern Yankee reached out to me. Actually, Cheryl reached out to me, and she was telling me about you. Like, man, Tracy's got a really interesting story. You should really get Tracy on. And for whatever reason, I wasn't able to get you on there, but I definitely wanted to reach out and put you on here because you do have an interesting story, and you are just like us. You're a normal guy that had a dream and a vision, and you put in the work, man. And it's awesome to see what you've done. I know I've seen it for at least the last 2 or 3 years.
And I'm, I deal with health issues all the time. I'm toe amputations and everything going through this, and just last week I'm set back again with another toe I had to have cut on the other day. come back from vacation and have a toe cut on. So, but I'm still out there because I went to Pigeon Forge on Saturday just after having toe, them cutting half my toe off on Friday, and, I got to make, I have to do tastings and stuff, but they pay people to taste. I could have a company go out and do tastings for me, and I see it all the time, and all the big people, they have that. But when you ask, if you go out and you do a tasting and you say, oh, hey, where did these people don't know anything. They don't know your struggle. They don't know anything. But if you're there and the people will say, oh, well, whose is this? Well, this is my product. They're going to buy it from you because they know your story.
Connect to you.
It's a more personal.
It is. And that's what
we
makes
like that.
And that's sales, and that's why all the liquor stores and Pigeon Forge and stuff, they say, hey, Tracy, come on back. We want Tracy back. They'll call the distributor and say, hey, we need Tracy back over here. He's one of the best. They do say I'm one of the best tasters they have because I come in, I'm pleasant. I talk to the people, and they sell a bunch of jars every time I come in. So that just goes to show you, that it does work. And you're getting if I'm getting somebody to buy mine over the big conglomerate, then I think I'm doing something. So, because it's hard to do in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg because people go down there just for the name. The TV shows has ruined the moonshine industry.
Man, I'll tell you, the last time we were down there, it is so oversaturated with some really bad moonshine, man. There's a couple. We were in one of them strip malls, and I've tasted some of, and I felt bad. I mean, and I told the guy, I looked at him dead in his eye. He handed me a jar of their special corn liquor, and I said, dude, I make better liquor in my garage. And some of these distilleries, I don't get. I get it. Everybody wants to make money, but you're not going to make money if you're pushing bad liquor, man. And these places need to understand that.
They don't have the knowledge. I mean, you have to have a good distiller that, and these places are just doing, I say, quantity over quality.
Yeah.
And that's what Rod's all about. He's small craft distillery. He makes small batch, small craft liquors. And the same way with Squach Shine, we don't make 1,000 bottles. We don't make it and just bottle it up. So,
and that makes a difference.
Well, those are our favorite distilleries up here. Our favorite distilleries up here are the small batch, all doing it all right there. Pot still, we get we see a lot of pot stills at the small distilleries up here. And and that's our style. So that is our style.
Josh Jones, some cantaloupe. Hell yeah, brother. I'm glad you liked it.
So, do you mind to tell us
where's mine?
How you got in on the Bigfoot on the Sasquatch, all that? Do you have like any inspiration for Sasquatch or
Hey, do you go to that Sasquatch festival over in Greenville or wherever that's at? Do you
I've been to a lot of festivals. I go to the one in Townsend. I go to them all. When I was a kid, I possibly had Sasquatch encounters when I was a small kid. It was 1978 or 77, and we lived up a holler in eastern Kentucky. And one spring, I was walking to school because that's when you walk to school, and it was dark. And we walked down the holler, and it was about a half a mile. And something tracked me because it was just they'd been bulldozed out, and so the ground was way up above your head, and you just had a gravel road, and they bulldozed it out, and you had the dirt floor all up above your head, and you could hear something walking. And it happened for about 3 or 4 days before I told my dad. I said, somebody's following me halfway down the hill. And he's like, that's probably a bobcat or something. And I said, no, it's 2 feet, and he's smashing down, he's a pretty heavy guy. And he's like, well, it might be an old hobo or something. And about halfway down the road, about halfway down the hill, there was some people live there, and they had an old cur dog that lived on the porch. And if y'all know anything about old country dogs, they live on the porch and come out and bark at you and act like they're big and mean. Then they go back to the porch as soon as you go past them. Well, that's about as far as that sound would go, is right about to their house. And so
You didn't want to mess with them curs either.
well, so my dad said, well, take our dog. We had an old red bone hound dog, and he went with me. And about halfway down, his haunches all stood up, and he just tensed up and had this low growl. I'd never heard him growl before in my life. And he went back to the house and got under the porch. And I told Dad about that, and he said,
fuck that.
And he didn't come out there for the whole day. He said, what'd you do, beat the dog? And I said, no, I didn't beat the dog. And he said, well, we're going to have to do something. And the very next day, our neighbor from down the way came up to the house and asked if we'd seen his dog, and said he'd been gone all day and hadn't come home, and it was just uncommon. We said, no, we ain't seen it. And my dad said, well, there's probably an old hobo took up in the hills. Said we'd probably go down and get the sheriff, come up here and look around and see if we can't get this guy out of here. And from what they told me, and this is what the sheriff and everybody saw. They went out, and it was about 75 yards from the guy's house. They found his dog, and it'd been wrapped around a tree about 5 feet up. 5 feet up on the tree. You could see where the dog had been warped. His legs was still together, where they took the back legs of this 80-pound dog and warped it up beside a tree about 5 feet. And the dog was crushed on one side, and it was dropped right there at the tree. Now, I don't know too many men that could pick up a 80-pound dog, especially going to eat you up, and warp it up a side of a tree 5 feet tall, about 5 feet, because them old dogs are greasy. And he said you could see grease and hair from that old dog 5 feet up on the tree. And
wow.
And that's the way that story ended. We never never had any more problems. Dad and them said there was a funky smell all out in the woods back in there. But after that, it was never had any more problems. And I've talked to many people, and they said that if it was a Bigfoot, which that's what I think it was, because I don't know too many men that could do that to a dog, that big a dog, and crush its ribs and everything. They said that Bigfoot saw that dog as a threat, because I was just a little kid. And y'all can't believe I was a little kid once. And
we was all little kids.
We was all little once.
So
I was 100 pounds when I come out of the womb.
Me 120. But they said that if it was a Bigfoot, that it saw me as a little kid, seeing that dog as a threat, and it took the threat out.
And then moved on.
Moved on.
And he moved on.
Here in Ohio, we got the grass man down in Pike County. That's our Bigfoot. Yeah,
I've heard about him.
I'm sure you know all about that.
I've heard about him. There ain't too much Bigfoot I haven't heard about.
I figured. I had to plug our.
I didn't even know anything about Bigfoot until I was, I was a little older, and I saw the Gimlin film of Patty, and I'm like, wow. And I started being interested in Bigfoot, like 10, 12 years old. And I'm still infatuated to this day. I still think he's out there. So people tell me I'm stupid, but you know what? I can believe whatever I want to.
Hey,
absolutely.
Everybody's going to have an opinion on you no matter what you're doing, whether
you're
making liquor
shows.
There's a whole lot of them Bigfooters out there. So
I'm just waiting for one of these Bigfooters that are out there with these big TV shows. What are they going to do when they actually find Bigfoot? All you're going to be able to do is say, where'd he go? Well, there's a trail of shit, and we'll find him somewhere. Because they'll just shit all over themselves.
Yep.
So It'll come one day. So
Hopefully, he gets video of his last few minutes.
exactly right.
Like shit.
That's
So
that's
do
how you
you,
make sure
uh,
Bigfoot don't
trees.
catch you.
Right.
Let him slip in your shit.
Tree knocks. They say that's his love call. There'll be tree knocking. He'd be looking for love in the wrong places, as the song says.
Hopefully, he don't like big bald fellers.
right.
Exactly.
Sean,
Stay out
you're
the
up.
woods.
You're up, Sean. You're the only asshole in your hair.
So you have any plans on adding anything else to
Yeah, other
your line
flavors.
there,
You got
Tracy?
any other flavors in mind?
I've got some stuff in the works. You can't count me out. So
Listen, being from Ohio, everyone loves that Ohio blue, Tracy.
I know it.
Represent a little Ohio blue down there, maybe
Well, Brad did his with
red, white, and
the
blue.
Ohio blue. Well,
Yep.
he did the America
Yeah,
Ohio
I
blue
think
blend.
that's badass that somebody
Jimmy
like
Red
that
blue.
did a corn that grew in Ohio, correct, Ian?
Yeah,
and that's some good stuff.
The Jimmy
That
Red
Soul
and the
Shine is some
Ohio
good
blue were
stuff.
both grown in Ohio.
So
Yeah.
the stuff that you use, Tracy, do you get it from Tennessee? Do you take it from Ohio? Where do you use where does all your corn and grains and sugar and all that?
Tennessee. It all comes from Tennessee. We
Yeah,
have a small place that he gets it from that's grown locally and everything. So
I imagine they give you tax discounts on locally grown products. I know like the fruit the fruit, if you use fruit and things like that from Ohio, the tax break's insane. I don't know how much it is for grain, but I would imagine they probably give you kickbacks for keeping your money in state.
Oh, I'm sure they do. It all goes since Rod's the maker of it. He's the one. He's the one that buys all the grains and stuff. I don't have to do any of that. So.
No, I believe that's Jason Acosta. Terrible with names, but no, that's not him. What is your TikTok? You're on TikTok. You're on all social medias, right?
Squach Shine, Smoky Mountain Squach Shine, and Mountain is MTN.
Mm-hmm.
Just you can just search Squach Shine and you can see Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm everywhere.
Man, you are, Tracy, and that's something I can say since I first since our good old buddy Dan Gray introduced me to the moonshine community. You are one of the first ones that I've seen your logo, your advertisements. You've been pushing it, man. You've been definitely one of the hardest working gentlemen I've seen in the moonshine community from my standpoint, as far as trying to push your own brand. You do a lot of work, man.
And I feel like I don't do enough. So
we never feel like it's enough.
Tracy, I see you pop up constantly, man. So you're doing the work.
Yeah,
you're definitely doing more work than the guy in the middle we got here who can't say anything.
We can't even get his microphone.
Hey, be happy. We got him shut up.
Hey,
you know what?
It's probably just because he hasn't pushed the little button on the top of his microphone.
Everybody send me $5 so I can get Sean a microphone for Christmas. Cash App is Big Easy 09.
Why don't you get him a Team U one? You don't even have to spend. It'd be 98 cents.
That's probably why. It's probably what he's got.
That's probably what he's got. You're right.
Yeah.
I know. Like, if like he deleted his face and only spoke, I can accept that. Like, I prefer that. But no, like he's ain't talking. We gotta look at him all the time. Like,
he said everybody can't get shit from Bever.
You can. I mean, I got a website. Go there and buy it.
Dang, that was rough, wasn't it? Jeez. I wish I knew how to do that. I can't. They keep denying me.
Yeah, they don't give me nothing either.
They keep denying me.
Every time old Squad Shine's got some extra sustenance, he's like, "Hey, you want these?" Like, yeah.
But you don't know it's a truckload.
Oh, you never hear me complain?
Oh no,
never. Like, oh yeah, sure.
You want a box of bananas?
Yeah.
A box or a truckload?
That's what a box is.
It was a truckload.
So, do you plan on doing any like meet and greets at Drop Zone anytime soon? If people want to come down and get a jar signed by you, or anything like that. Kind of like Brad just did one on the 20th. He did a nice little jar sign. I heard he had a pretty good turnout, which is cool.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I'm not as famous as him. I can't
he's
draw a
fancy.
crowd.
You know, he's
fancy. He even signs fancy.
I tell you what, it's those Liberty
that.
jars. He's anticipating those Liberty jars. It's kind of like
I'm telling
letting
you.
people try your stuff before you was able to get it out. You
Yeah.
keep showing that jar out, so people keep coming in. Like, got that jar, got that
There's
jar.
only
You got that
250
jar.
of them. 250 of
Yeah.
these jars.
Well, I think it's more like
44.
Yeah, 244.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he told me he's going to give me one, and then he said he didn't have any jars left. I don't know what's all that about.
All right, we're down to
If
243.
he gives everybody,
Hey,
if he
Tracy,
gives
talk to
everybody
Big
a
Easy.
jar, I don't know what's going on.
You can't-
Easy's
Big Easy
the
got
stuff
my
hooked
jar.
up.
No,
Yeah, we'll figure
that
it
jar
out.
is going to look nice with that moonshine in it. And
Yeah.
something I found out that's pretty cool. It's not 750. It's actually going to be a quart of moonshine.
Nice.
Yeah.
A legit
Nice.
quart of moonshine, not the 750 quarts. So that's, I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not, but oh well.
No, he told us that too. I do believe.
Well,
And that's
so-
pretty good.
Sometimes they will let them use quart jars, but make them put 300 or 750 milliliters in the jar.
Yeah.
I think there was a local distillery here that had pint jars, and you knew they were pint jars, but they only had 375 in them, and then they would bust your head for $20 for a 375 of 40 proof.
But it
flavor.
don't look full, and then you don't feel like you're getting your money.
right,
worth.
right. But you could definitely tell they did what they had to do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that TTB, they'll get you. You know,
Yeah.
the government, they'll get you. So,
Yeah.
because they go in and test the proofs on them jars. I mean, they'll go in the store and crack open bottles and see if your proof's what it's supposed to be and everything.
That way you're not selling people 120 proof, but giving them 60 proof.
Yeah,
You
40
know,
proof or something.
Yeah,
Who would
you
do
know, like,
that?
I don't know. I tell you, if I got a jar and it was supposed to be 120 proof and it was 60 proof, and when I got home, let's be for real, your average person's not going to know. Like most places, they're just going to hit it like, "Oh, that's hot," you know what I'm saying?
And
That's
if it's hot at 60 proof, you're not going to know the difference. Probably.
Yeah,
A
your
novice ain't
average
gonna know.
like some high schools
Not everybody's got a high
Yeah,
dollar.
people actually might like that better if they don't drink much.
right, and
They're
then they
like,
go
"That's
back
great
and get a real
shit."
jar and it burns their face off. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine it
Well,
happens.
I'm
but-
drinking it 120 proof and it'd only be 60.
Mhm. I had a guy one time told me moonshine wasn't moonshine unless it was 145 proof, and he drinks it all the time. I said, "Man, you're not even going to have to be in bombs. You're pickled."
I say, come sit by the fire. I'll give you a jar of 145 proof, and let's see you in 3 hours.
Jeez, it wouldn't
you
take
might be
that
like
long for me.
you might be like my buddy Phil Smith, and have a little too much at Big Easy's birthday party. It happens. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
he was fun.
love him. It happens. But yeah, I always love him, guys. I only drink 190. Here you go. Give her a try, buddy. Let's see what you got. Like I'm a sipper on about 100 proof because I want to survive the next day.
Right. I just can't see it. The new challenge on TikTok is drinking Everclear. We did that back in my high school days. That and Mad Dog 2020.
Been there.
Hey,
Been there.
I fucks with Mad Dog. Don't talk shit about Mad Dog now. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
don't
You
surprise
get through
me.
a night of Mad Dog and survive the next day?
I didn't say I survived. I said
Look at him.
Little Kings. Next
Little
time
King.
you,
yeah. Hey, Jenny 12.
Maybe that's what's wrong with our hair. You can tell who did Mad Dog or something.
He's only 38 years old.
Oh, jeez.
No. I'm chasing Matt.
I'm probably the oldest guy in this room right now.
Matt's pretty old.
I don't know. Like Matt was there with Eve, so
Yeah.
Dang. Well, I was roping dinosaurs.
Well, shit. Hey, hold on. Uncle Joey has experience in asking people their age. Won't you go ahead and use your superpower now that you can, Uncle Joey?
It's okay tonight.
It's okay. It's okay tonight, sir.
Man, you know what?
Thank you. This is amazing. All right.
Uncle Joey pre-games a little hard one night, and I get thrown under the bus the next week, man.
Oh, shit.
Just never can live it down, I guess.
It's okay. Listen,
What are you gonna
Uncle
do?
Joey's got really thick skin and a big back, so they can all hop on and kiss my ass.
He's used to fellers hopping on there. I'm good though.
Oh shit!
But
Oh,
anyways,
man.
we're going ahead and
Tracy-
we're gonna let this shit show in. If you want some Smoky Mountain Squat Shine, you can get it at Drop Zone Distillery, Pigeon Forge, Knoxville. If you get a hold of Squat Shine, I'm sure he can tell you which stores you can get it at, if they're close to you, if they're not close to you. You know, like we're all buddies. We all pick up jars when we're out and about.
There's always
around.
the mail. You can always get them. You can always get it mailed to you.
Okay, so you're able
online
to legally mail jars.
Yeah, there's mail. There's online sales. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: can I meet you and buy? Can I come to you and buy some of your product?
If I have it on me, yeah, I can sure. I can sure donate a bottle to you, and you give me a. Yep.
No, I just didn't know how your sales were. Can you privately sell? I mean, can you?
No, not really. I'm not allowed to privately.
Okay, that's
sell,
what I was wondering. How
I
your-
definitely
how that
can give somebody a bottle or something.
Yeah.
You know.
I
I mean, I'm not out here handing bottles out, but
No.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. You know.
Even to bring a bottle home, you have to pay for it, correct?
well, technically, I've already paid for it. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay, absolutely,
Well,
yes.
So if you got reimbursed,
yeah.
Yes.
Or if you just gave me a bottle and you know.
Yeah, it went somewhere. It don't matter.
Yeah,
And
you
I'll
know.
tell you what, I've got these little mini bottles out. If y'all ain't seen them, they look just like the big bottle, except they're an airplane bottle.
Nice.
And if you don't think so, my distributor wanted them for the holidays, and I came up with this big bright idea. I'd do it. Well, it's all I have to hand do every one of them. I have
Way
to
to go,
hand
Tracy.
the
Yeah.
labels.
Way to go.
it was a good
I
idea
said,
at the
"Wow!" It's horrible. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. It's horrible. I can't wait for the Christmas season to go.
What are they? About 2 ounces?
Yeah, they're 50 milliliters or something. They're just the airplane bottle,
Yeah.
and I have to put the label on the front, on the back. I have to put the UPC code. I hand fill them. I have to put a stopper, then the lid, and then I have to put a strap over the lid.
Let's say you gotta seal them.
Let's see.
I have to do
You know-
all that.
You know,
And-
Uncle
You
Joe,
earning that good idea, ain't you?
Oh, and I know because
Earning
my
that
time
idea.
is valuable, and these bottles have put me in the hole
hey,
because I
Uncle
said
Joey will work for liquor, man. If you
So
need,
this
if
was a
you need
one-time
to buy-
run.
I
yeah.
couldn't. If he would do 20 bottles, and he'd say I give up.
Yeah. I'm
'Cause
done.
I had to do 500, and I was about to pull my hair out. I
Oh,
was there
man.
the day after Thanksgiving. I was down at Drop Zone because the distributor wanted 5 cases, and that's 250 bottles. And the guy that's working at Drop Zone with the distributor, with the master distiller, he was about ready to quit. So I had to do it all by myself. He just looked at me and he said, I'm going home. I said, no, you can't. I gotta be, Rod will kill me if you go home. So
If you ever watch videos of Hatfield out there in Charleston area, he hand fills his jars and he puts his labels on each jar by hand, and so that's what exactly when you talked about it, is exactly what it reminded me of, was watching him fill his jars with a pitcher and put the stickers on. But I can imagine you doing 500 little bitty jars.
little bitty bottles, yeah, they are. I don't have one up here. I'd show you the little heathens. I swear, it's like little heathen children that you don't want. Just
Well,
I wish I could
you're not
pay
that far
somebody.
away, Tracy. I might have to come down and come down and see you and get some of that, man. The
Oh,
little
yeah.
bottles sound like they're cool as shit, dude.
Oh, they are. If you see my big bottle, they're exactly like the little one. Just check out my TikTok. I'm sure there's a picture of it on there. Somewhere there's a TikTok, Facebook, something. But yep. Sorry, I went off on that tangent, and y'all had to stay 15 more minutes. But
Oh, you're all good. That's another fun little story at the end. So, Uncle Joey, who's next week?
Well, here's the thing. I think I was probably supposed to reach out to Tater, and I haven't yet. But we talked about having Tater back on to talk about his jar. So I got to reach out to him and see if he's available.
So it's Tater or nobody? So it's going to be Tater next week or nobody. Is that what you
Yes.
said?
Yes,
All
absolutely.
right.
And then you're going to actually have Rod
Yeah.
on.
Give you the date for Rod.
January 12th.
There you go, January 12th.
Oh yeah, everybody should tune in. That's a real stand-up guy right there.
I'm
So,
excited.
I'm
for that
excited
one.
to talk to Rod. Hell yeah.
I seen Doug Hobbs in the chat. He's a good guy too. So
Hell yeah. Hey man, there's
appreciate you
lots
joining in,
of
Doug.
good people in this community, Tracy. That's one thing
yeah,
that I've learned since I got introduced to it. Again, I'll drop Dan Gray's name. Since Dan Gray kind of keyed me into these guys, there's some awesome dudes, man. That's for sure.
well, I've found some good people on here, and there is definitely some good people. So
There are some good ones.
Yep, there sure is.
And then there's John.
Before we get out here, what I remember most about Dan Gray introducing the moonshine community to AAW was that y'all scheduled for Sean Rigsby to come to a podcast and he didn't show up. But Big Easy showed up and got everybody hammered in Sturgis' house and then left. So y'all got introduced the right way. Y'all have a good night. We love all y'all. See you next week.